Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you cannot die. Not probably won't die today. Cannot. Ever. A car hits you. You walk away. A disease tears through your body. You recover. Decades pass, then centuries. And somewhere around year 300, you stop feeling lucky. You start feeling something much worse. You start feeling alone. And if the idea of living forever already gives you that strange, hollow feeling, you're going to want to stay for this one. Subscribe to Zed Talks if this is the kind of thing you lose sleep over. We find a new one every week. Most people, when they first imagine immortality, picture a gift, extra time, endless sunsets, the chance to see how everything turns out. But that fantasy lasts about as long as the first person you love dies. And with immortality, that moment is not a tragedy you recover from. It's the first of thousands. Your parents go first. That's expected, painful but expected. Then your siblings, your closest friends, the people who knew you when you were young, the ones who remembered the person you used to be. One by one they leave, and the version of you they carried in their memories leaves with them. After enough decades, you stop existing in anyone else's story. You become a stranger to the world, even while you're still standing in it. Here's what the movies never show. Grief doesn't stay sharp forever. It dulls. And that's not a blessing. It's the cruelest part. You get used to loss. You have to. Because if you let yourself feel every death at full force, you'd collapse. So instead, you start to love less deeply. You build smaller attachments. You stop fully letting people in. Because some part of your brain has already done the math. You know how this ends. You've seen it 1,000 times. Psychologists have a name for this. Compounding loss without recovery time. Traumatic grief syndrome. It rewires the brain's attachment systems. It makes connection feel dangerous. Now imagine that playing out not over a difficult year, but over centuries. But it gets stranger than grief. Around the century mark, something shifts in how you experience time. For humans, time feels urgent because it's limited. A summer feels precious because there are only so many of them. A conversation with someone you love carries weight because you know it won't last forever. Immortality strips all of that away. Not immediately, gradually. The urgency drains out of everything. A year starts to feel like a week. A decade feels like a month. Events that would have defined a human life, falling in love, achieving something remarkable, begin to feel like small notes in a much longer story. Philosophers call this the tedium of immortality. The idea isn't that eternal life becomes boring like a slow afternoon. It's that meaning requires scarcity. The things we care about because they are limited. Time, relationships, youth, ambition. All of it runs on finitude. An immortal eventually loses access to that feeling, and without it, what is there? There's another dimension no one talks about, identity. The person you are is built from your experiences, your relationships, your cultural moment. A human life takes place in a specific era, among specific people. That context shapes who you are at a deep level. But an immortal doesn't belong to any era. They live through all of them, and belong to none. The language changes, the values shift. What was once radical becomes quaint. What was once sacred becomes incomprehensible. You keep updating. But at some point, you've updated so many times that you no longer know who the original person was. Was that even still you? Or did you die too? Just very slowly, one version at a time. If this is hitting differently than you expected, it hits me the same way. A like really does help Zed Talks keep finding these stories. It takes 2 seconds and it means a lot. Now here's where it gets truly dark. History itself becomes a weight you carry alone. You were there for the wars, the plagues, the collapses. You watched cities you loved burn. You watched ideas you believed in get twisted into something unrecognizable. You watched the same cycles repeat, over and over, power rising, corruption spreading, collapse arriving, across different names and different flags, but the same pattern. And unlike everyone else, you can't look back at history as something distant. You remember it. It's not a chapter in a book. It's your life. There are survivors of historical atrocities who describe a particular loneliness, the loneliness of living through something so extreme that no one else can understand. Psychologists call it the witness burden. Now multiply that across 1,000 years, across dozens of civilizations, across every catastrophe humanity has ever produced. That is what an immortal carries, and yet they keep going. Because the alternative is to find some way not to, and for an immortal, even that door is closed. If that stayed with you, I think it should. Subscribe to Zed Talks. There are more stories waiting. I think you'll find them worth your time. So what do we actually take from this? Immortality is not the opposite of suffering. It's the fullest version of it. Every human life contains loss, disconnection, the erosion of meaning. Immortality just removes the deadline that makes those things bearable. It removes the urgency that makes love feel important. It removes the scarcity that makes moments matter. The ancient Greeks understood this. In the Odyssey, the goddess Calypso offers Odysseus immortality. He refuses. He chooses to go home, to age, to struggle, to die. Because immortal life is the only kind of life that means something, not in spite of its limits, because of them. You don't want to live forever. You want the time you have to matter. And here's the thing. It already does. The fact that it ends is exactly what makes it count.